It's the grandson of Right Thought. Welcome to the School of Marvelous Light. So I'm going to read something, and then we're going to expand it to today so that you can know the times you're living in. Because remember what your master told you when he said, y'all can look at the sky. Like I'm looking at it right now, it looks like it's about to rain. So we'll see if it starts raining while I'm doing this video, but it looks like it's going to rain. I can see the clouds rolling in. He says, you guys can look at the sky and see what kind of weather's coming, just like I just told you. But you can't look at the times you're living in and discern them, which means understand them. Okay? So let's read about a certain time on the earth and how it applies to you in your life right now. The book of Joel. We're going to go to chapter 2. I'll give y'all a minute to get to it. It's a small book in the Old Testament, so it's kind of hard to find. I'll give you a minute. Okay? The book of Joel, chapter 2. We'll start at verse 15. Well, let's start at verse 1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain, and let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds, like I just described to you, and thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong. There hath not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. So the day of the Lord comes. He says, blow a trumpet in Zion, in his holy mountain, his set apart mountain. And then he says, a great people, strong. There have not been any people like this from the foundation of the world. And shouldn't be any, and there won't be any after it. Into many generations, he says, right? He says, a fire devoureth before them, verse 3, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yeah, and nothing shall escape them. So y'all see how the day of the Lord is? An overflowing army is coming in like a flood. So everything before they get there is beautiful, but after they get there, it's completely destroyed. You see? Verse 4, the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run. Like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap. Like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. Before their face the people shall be much pained. All faces shall gather blackness. They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. And they shall march every one on his ways. And they shall not break their ranks. Neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk every one in his path. And when they shall fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. Y'all hearing this? They shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief. Woo! An invasion. Do y'all hear this? The earth shall quake before them. The heavens shall tremble. Wind blowing my page over. The sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. Y'all hear this? And Abiyah shall utter his voice before his army. Do y'all hear this? For his camp is very great, for he is strong that executeth his word. For the day of Abba Yah is great and very terrible, and who can abide it? You hear this? Listen, y'all. Therefore, also now, saith Abba Yah, turn ye even to me with all your heart. Y'all hear that, listeners? He says an overflowing army that cannot be touched is coming through your windows, your doors. Nothing you can do. Jumping over the walls. There's nothing you can do. So turn to him with all your heart and with fasting. You see? Instead of lusting, turn and fast. And with weeping. Y'all hear the wind kicking up? And with mourning. And rend your heart and not your garments. And turn into Abba Yah, your Elohim. For he is gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and of great kindness, and repenteth him of the evil. Who knoweth if he will return and repent, and leave a blessing behind him, even a meat offering and a drink offering unto Abba Yah, your God, your El. 15. Blow the trumpet in Zion, he says again. Sanctify a fast. He's warning us. Chill out. Turn away from the world and grabbing and getting. Please, y'all. Please listen to this. Turn away from chasing after material thing. It was vanity, and it won't gain you anything at this hour, because there are people who are going to come in and take everything. So it's best that you be not partaker of it when it comes, because it's coming. He already told you first. He told you the danger first, because he is great in his kindness, and he is slow to his anger, and he is gracious and merciful. And if he thinks to do evil, he will repent and change from it if you repent. You see? But if you don't, then he will follow through with his words. He says, call a solemn assembly, verse 16. Gather the people. That's what we're doing right now. Sanctify the congregation. Set them apart was what sanctify means. Separate them. Assemble the elders. Gather the children and those that suck the breast. Everybody come. That's what he's saying. And those that suck the breast. Let the bridegroom go forth of his chamber. That means come out of there. And the bride out of her closet. He says, stop what you're doing. Getting ready to get married. Stop that and come to me first. Come to me now. Don't be caught marrying. Don't be caught wasting your time. Let the priest, the minister, 17, of Abba Yah, weep. So you see why the grandson be crying on his videos over the people? Do y'all understand why? Because he told me to do that right now. He told me to do what I'm doing right now. Between the porch and the altar, and let them say, spare thy people, O Abba Yah. Isn't that what's happening? And give not thine heritage to reproach, that the heathen should rule over them. Wherefore should they say among the people, where is their El? That's what they say about Israel. They say, their God don't love them. He don't defend them. But we're going to read today just how Abba Yah will defend his people if they do what he say do. 18. Then will Abba Yah be jealous for his land and pity his people. Do you hear that? Yeah. Abba Yah will answer and say unto his people, behold, I will send you corn and wine and oil, and ye shall be satisfied therewith. And I will no more make you a reproach among the heathen. Y'all hear that? Make you a joke in the land, Israel. You won't be a joke no more. But I will remove far off from you the northern army. Ain't that where we at? North America, ain't it? And I will drive him into a land barren and desolate, with his face toward the east sea, and his hinder part toward the utmost sea. So whoever invaded Israel and took over their land, and is in their land unrightfully, trying to act like it's your land, you're going to be kicked out according to what Abba Yah say. He said the utmost sea, and his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he have done great things. 21. Israel, listen, fear not, O land, and be glad and rejoice, for Abba Yah will do great things. We're going to read about that here in a minute. Be not afraid, you beast of the field, for the pastures of the wilderness do spring, for the tree bears her fruit. Thank you, Abba Yah, for that. The fig tree and the vine do yield their strength. Thank you, Father, for that. Be glad then, I shall be glad, ye children of Zion, right thought, and rejoice in Abba Yah your El, for he hath given you the former rain moderately. We talked about moderation the last. Didn't we talk about that? And he will cause to come down for you the rain, the former rain. I told you, it's like it's about to, it is raining now a little bit. Here it comes. The latter rain in the first month, and the floor shall be full of wheat, and the fat shall overflow with wine and oil, and I will restore to you the years that the locust have eaten, the cankerworm and the caterpillar and the palmer worm, my great army which I sent among you, among you, among you, among you. Are you living in this land right now, Israel? There's a people who invaded this land and came among you and ate up all of your wealth and put you in slavery? Is that not what happened? Look at Abba Yah going to restore to you the years that they ate from you, that they took from you, that they killed everything from you. He's going to restore it. It's going to overflow. He say, 28, and it shall come to pass afterward. Let's listen, that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Your old men shall dream dreams. Your young men shall see visions. This is a very famous verse. Y'all all heard about it. Well, let's see about the time when these things is going on. And also 29, upon the servants and upon the handmaidens in those days will I pour out my spirit, and I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke. 31, the sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and terrible day of Abba Yah come. 32, and it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of I am shall be delivered. For in Mount Zion right thought, and in Jerusalem right feeling shall be deliverance, as Abba Yah hath said, and in the remnant whom Abba Yah shall call. I told you I am precious, and if you hear my words, then you have been blessed. You know why? Because I am giving you right thought on a daily basis. I am giving you right feelings on a daily basis. That means Zion and Jerusalem, by the way. And that's where you will find deliverance, in the right thoughts and in the right feelings, just like I've been telling you from the beginning. Just a remnant, he says, whom Abba Yah gonna call. I told you, his sheep know his voice when he called them. He know him by their name. I told you that. Now let's get into it. It's about to get deep. For behold, chapter 3. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. So, Judah, who's the tribe of Judah on the earth? Y'all didn't know who that was? Y'all didn't know that was the Negroes? Okay, then. So now, they was in slavery right here in America, like I said, to some invaders, like I've been telling y'all. He says he's going to bring that up into judgment. Like I've told you. So, 2019, that shit was over with. So, y'all in judgment right now. I told you that. Yeah, y'all getting purged out the land because y'all was doing wrong against God's people. We about to prove it. I will also gather all nations. See? So some of y'all getting out of this, or he about to judge every people that's ever exists. Which one? And I will bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people. Wait a second. You're going to gather all the nations and plead with them to let your people go. You hear that? This is all about you, Israel. That's why you were subjected to slavery, like I've been saying. But where is he bringing them down to? He says the valley of Jehoshaphat. Jehoshaphat. That means Abba Yah judges. You see? And I will plead with them there for my people. What people, Abba Yah? For my heritage, Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. What did Donald Trump do with Israel? Did he part the land? And are the original people of that land, which are Negroes, scattered to all different countries of this earth, speaking all kind of different languages? You see how my father don't lie, and I don't care what you say, because I see it right before my very eyes every day. I don't need you to confirm it. Anybody who don't confirm it is a fucking liar. We speak 100% truth over here. And I don't care how you feel about it. I'm sorry if I offend you, but I am the rock of offense to those who don't stand on truth. Period. Let's continue. 3, and they have cast lots for my people. 45, 45, 55, 55. How much for the Negro on the stand? How much for the 5 Negroes? How much for the wench? How much for that pretty mulatto bed wench there? Yeah. Who did that happen to? He said they cast lots for my people. What else they do to your people, Abba Yah? They have given a boy for a harlot. Yeah, all those rappers. They've become a harlot to some other man that put them out there. Y'all didn't hear about B2K and Chris Stokes and what he was doing to them boys? And given a boy for a harlot, and sold a girl for wine, prostitution, that they might drink. Yeah. And what have you to do with me, oh Tyree and Zidon? See, if you don't know Tyree and Zidon, you don't know who I was talking to. He said, I'm judging them. So he says, now you first, Tyree and Zidon. Did you read about the woman from Tyree and Zidon that Christ called a dog? Go to Matthew and see where Christ is speaking to that woman. Alrighty? And then see if he calls her a dog, and then see where it says she was from. Tyree and Zidon. He says, what do you people have to do with me, you Canaanite dogs? Y'all ain't got shit to do with me. But they say they do. They say they love God. Yeah, right. And all the coast of Palestine. Look at Palestine. That's our land over there. Our land. I would say, what I got to do with you? Look how he knows who's in the land. You say my God is not an awesome God. He said the Canaanites and the Palestinians are fighting over my land right now. What do y'all got to do with me? Y'all ain't my fucking people. Get the fuck out my land, bitch. You got no right to be trying to chop it up and scatter my people all over the earth. I'm God and I decide those things, not you. You think my father is playing? He told you all the way back here who was in his land. He says, will you render me a recompense? You gonna pay me back for being in my land when I found you there? You ain't supposed to be there. He says, and if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head, because you have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. What goodly pleasant things, Father? The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have you sold unto the Greeks, the Grecians, the Greeks, that you might remove them far from their borders. Who was in the slave trade being moved far from their borders? Children of Judah? That what it say again? Abba said you touched his gold, his people, and removed it out of his land. I told you, he ain't fucking with y'all. He's telling you right now what you got to do with me. What you got to do with me? And I will sell your sons, and your daughters, into the hand of the children of Judah, the Negroes, and they shall sell them to the Sabians. We don't want them fucking dogs. We gonna sell them fucking dogs to the Sabians, to a people far off for the, well, who spoke it? Abba, y'all have spoken it. Verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. I'm proclaiming it right now. What, Abba, y'all? Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men and let all the men of war draw near. Come on. Come on. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears, and let the weak say, I am strong, and assemble yourselves, and come all you heathens, and gather yourselves together round about thither, cause the mighty wants to come down. Oh, Abba, Yah say so. Come on down. Let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of judgment. Abba, Yah judges. Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. You hear that? You hear that? Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Remember what Christ said? Let them grow until the time of the harvest. Oh, yeah. That's what we talking about. I told y'all, pay attention to the time we in. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision. For the day of Abiyah is near in the valley of decision. The sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. He said it again. And Abiyah shall roar out of Zion and utter his voice from Jerusalem, and the heavens and the earth shall shake. But Abiyah will be the hope of his people and the strength of the children of Israel. Got me sweating out here. So the day of the Lord is only good for one people on the earth, isn't it? The people that was put in slavery. Y'all can kick against the pricks with that. You can fight against it all the fuck you want to fight against it. You can hate me all the hell you want. I don't give a damn. I'm happy to be who I am because I am blessed in the highest according to Abiyah's word, even though you say I'm cursed. Well, whose word is more valuable? Yours or my Father in heaven? All right, then. Now, Abiyah said he's going to judge them in the valley of Jehoshaphat, right? Now, Abiyah always gives loops. I've told y'all that. He gives you foreshadowings of things to come. Now, Israel, I want you to listen to this very, very carefully because this, I told you, you're the people that are going to be saved during this great, dark, terrible time. He said, don't fear Judah and Jerusalem. See, certain people. You ain't going to get judged because you weren't being a partaker of the same things these heathens were. You weren't taking people out of their land and lying to them and tricking and deceiving. You weren't doing all that shit, but they was, because they did it to you. Okay, now let's see the foreshadowing so then you know exactly what's coming in the day of the Lord. Remember the overflowing army that's coming in to destroy people in an instant, coming through their windows, kicking in. These people cannot, their hearts will fail them when they see those men kicking in those fucking windows, jumping through that shit. And these aren't going to be regular men. These are going to be super soldiers. You will shoot them. They will fall down and get right back up. Isn't that what Abiyah said to you? So research super soldiers and then think that Abiyah is bullshitting. And somebody has to have the trigger of the super soldiers. That's the Antichrist. Somebody has the codes of the super soldiers. The super soldiers are the most dangerous weapon in the world because they take programming from one person. So that one person considers himself to be the most powerful man in the world who controls the super soldiers. The ones that Abba just told you will be running up the walls, jumping so high you can't even understand how they're doing it. So research super soldier and then you'll see exactly what Abiyah was describing to you. But he says you don't be afraid of them because they ain't gonna hurt you. They can't hurt you. So let's get the foreshadowing to see how you ain't gonna be touched. Let's see. 2 Chronicles Chapter 20. I'll give y'all a minute to get there. The book of 2 Chronicles Chapter 20. Start at verse 1. Let's go. And it came to pass after this also that the children of Moab, the children of Ammon, and with them other beside the Ammonites, came also Jehoshaphat to battle. So you see it's the same name. So here's the foreshadowing then. You see? Then there came some that told Jehoshaphat, saying, there cometh a great multitude. You see how it's the same thing he said in Joel? There cometh a great multitude against thee, see, from beyond the sea on this side Syria. Moab, Ammon, that's China, North Korea, Japan, have made a pact. That's what that means. Listen to me. Or not, it's up to you. But if you were wise, you'd adhere to this. North Korea, China, Japan have made a pact, all right, to fight against them. That's why they are so numerous, a great multitude. Who has the largest army in the world? The children of Moab do. Okay. Y'all just didn't know that's who they call. See, they tried to lie to y'all. I'm giving you the truth. It's Moab. All right. So notice it said their name first. And it came to pass after this that the children of Moab, see. All right, verse 3. No, wait, go back. A great multitude against thee from beyond the sea on this side Syria. See, this side of Syria. And behold, they be in Hazazon-Tamar, which is En Gedi. Okay, so they're giving you the area where this army is at. And Jehoshaphat feared. See, Abba said don't fear, but he feared. And set himself to seek Abiyah. Oh, there you go. And proclaimed a fast. Now, what did Joel say? Proclaim a fast. You see what Jehoshaphat did? Did y'all hear this? He proclaimed a fast, so he's doing it right. Throughout all Judah. What people did this? The Negroes. And Judah, the Negroes, gathered themselves together to ask help of Abiyah. So you Negroes right now, ask help of the great I Am to deliver you from the overflowing scourge that is to come destroy this land. You hear this? Fast from your daily trappings of going around trying to get gain and focus on Abiyah now because you're going to need him more than ever, not your money. It won't do you any good on that day. Super soldiers don't need to get paid. All right? And Judah gathered themselves together to ask help of Abiyah. Here we go. Even out of all the cities of Judah, they came to seek Abiyah. Here we go. And Jehoshaphat stood in the congregation of Judah in Jerusalem in the house of Abiyah before the new court and said, O Abiyah, El of our fathers, art not thou El in heaven? And rulest not thou over all the kingdoms of the heathen? And in thine hand is there not power and might so that none is able to withstand thee? Are not thou our El? See, our El, who didst drive out the inhabitants of this land, Canaanites, before thy people Israel? See, This is an ancient battle. And gavest it to the seed of Abraham, thy friend forever. See, they want to always kick us out of our own land and scatter us. But didn't you give us this land? You see, it's the same prayer. And they dwelt therein and have built thee a sanctuary therein for thy name, saying, if when evil cometh upon us, the Negroes, when evil come upon you, and the strangers who are gathered to the Negroes, just truth. If when evil cometh upon us as the sword, judgment, or pestilence, or famine, we stand before this house and in thy presence, for thy name is in this house. What name? I am. And cry unto thee in our affliction. Then thou wilt hear and help. And now behold, the children of Ammon and Moab and Mount Seir, the European Union led by the Romans. See? So China, Korea, Japan, and the European Union led by the Romans are attacking the Negroes for their land. And now behold, the children of Ammon and Moab and Mount Seir, whom thou wouldest not let Israel invade, when they came out of the land of Egypt, but they turned from them and destroyed them not. So when we came out of Egypt, we didn't destroy those nations, though we could have, but we didn't. Verse 11, behold, I say, how they reward us. Look how they pay the Negroes back for the Negroes' kindness to them, for letting them be who they wanted to be. They won't let us be who we want to be, though. Look how they paid us back. But they turned and destroyed them not. Behold, I say how they have rewarded us, to come to cast us out of thy possession, which thou hast given us to inherit. Isn't that what God is pissed off about in Joel? What Jehoshaphat just said? I told you it's a foreshadowing of what's happening now. O our God, Elohim, will thou not judge them? See? You see why I told you the whole world ain't going to rise up and say what the grandson be saying. When I be like, judge them, Abba Yah. See, they don't understand that. You see, but now you should understand it reading this. He says, will you not judge them? For we have no might against this great company. What can the Negroes do against these super soldiers that's coming? Nothing. That cometh against us, neither know we what to do, but our eyes are upon thee. You hear that? And all Judah stood before Abba Yah with their little ones and their wives and their children. You see that? Then upon Jahaziel, the son of Zechariah, the son of Benaiah, the son of Jeiel, the son of Mattaniah, a Levite of the sons of Asaph, came the spirit of Abba Yah in the midst of the congregation. And he said, hearken ye all Judah, all you Negroes, listen to me. And ye inhabitants of Jerusalem, and thou King Jehoshaphat, thus saith the Lord unto you, Abba Yah unto you, be not afraid nor dismayed by reason of this great multitude, for the battle is not yours but Abba's. Just like he said in Joel. Tomorrow go ye down against them. Behold, they come up by the cliff of Ziz, and ye shall find them at the end of the brook, before the wilderness of Jeruel. Y'all hear that? 17, and you shall not need to fight in this battle. That's the key. Did you hear that? You're not going to need to fight in this battle, you Negroes. So stay out of this shit. Do what he told you to do and proclaim a fast in your house today. Men, proclaim a fast in your house from the things that destroy. You hear me? Ye shall not need to fight in this battle. Set yourselves and stand ye still and see the salvation of Abba Yah with you. I am with you. O Judah and Jerusalem, fear not. The whole world, fear not? Just like Abba said. Judah and Jerusalem, fear not, nor be dismayed. Tomorrow go out against them, for Abba Yah will be with you, for I am with you. And Jehoshaphat bowed his head with his face to the ground, and all Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem fell before Abba Yah, worshiping Abba Yah. And the Levites and the children of the Kohathites and the children of Korhites stood up to praise Abba Yah of Israel with a loud voice on high. 20, and they rose early in the morning, no fear, and went forth to the wilderness of Tekoa. And as they went forth, listen, Jehoshaphat stood and said, hear me, O Judah, you inhabitants of Jerusalem, you Negroes, believe in Abba Yah your Elohim. So shall he establish, so shall ye be established. Believe his prophets that you've been hating on. Believe us today, so shall ye prosper. See? 21. And when he had consulted with the people, he appointed singers unto Abba Yah, and they should praise the beauty of holiness as they went out before the army, and to say, praise Abba Yah, for his mercy endureth forever. 22. And when they began to sing and to praise Yah's praise, I told you that's our weapon. Sing praises to your Father. Abba Yah set ambushments. What happened? They started to sing, and what happened? Abba Yah ambushed them children of Ammon, Moab, and Mount Seir. The North Koreans, the Japanese, the Chinese, and the European Union led by the Romans, which were come against the Negroes, Judah, and they were smitten. 23. For the children of Ammon and Moab stood up against the inhabitants of Mount Seir, utterly to slay and destroy them. And when they had made an end of the inhabitants of Seir, everyone helped to destroy another. So that means that China, North Korea, and Japan is going to destroy the European Union. And then they're going to destroy themselves. Do you hear me? China says they are children of the red dragon. Ask them yourself and see. So they tell you who they worship. Their leader, his name is Xi, right? Xi. XI. What number is that? 60. 666. This is getting interesting when you think about it, isn't it? Whoever got control of this innumerable amount of super soldiers, you see? So, when Judah came, 24, toward the watchtower in the wilderness, they looked up to the multitude, and behold, there were dead bodies fallen to the earth, and none escaped. Y'all hear that? You Negroes, you innocent Negroes living in this land, being tortured, being scattered away from your family, ripped away, and everything that happened to you. You're going to wake up and there's going to be a bunch of dead people everywhere. It says you shall inherit the earth. The meek shall inherit the earth. Oh boy, y'all don't hear me preaching. I told you, you better listen to this shit. All right? You better get you some steak out of here. All right? Because I'm telling you exactly what's coming. Exactly in great detail. You hear me? Watch, we're going to prove it. And when Judah came toward the watchtower in the wilderness, they looked into the multitude, and behold, there were dead bodies fallen to the earth, and none escaped. And when Jehoshaphat and his people came to take away the spoil of them, they found among them in abundance, both riches with the dead bodies and precious jewels, which they stripped off for themselves more than they could carry away. You hear that, Negroes? That's why they mad at you and hate you. This was coming for you. I'm giving you the foreshadowing in great detail. They didn't even have to lift up a sword. All they had to do was fast and praise God. And look what happened. In other words, all they had to do was be who they are. And they were 3 days in gathering of the spoil. It was so much. It took 3 days to gather up all that richness. And on the 4th day, they assembled themselves in the valley of Berakah, for there they blessed Abba Yah. Therefore, the name of the same place was called in the valley of Berakah unto this day. Barakah. You hear that? Barak. Y'all hear that? Barak. What does it mean? Yah has blessed. Bless you. Brakata. Y'all see? Bless you. The valley of Barakah unto this day. Then they returned, every man of Judah and Jerusalem, and Jehoshaphat in the forefront of them, to go again to Jerusalem with joy, for Abba Yah had made them to rejoice over their enemies. Y'all hear the end of this story about the end of the world? And they came to Jerusalem with psalteries and harps and trumpets into the house of Abba Yah, and the fear of El was on all the kingdoms of those countries when they had heard that Abba Yah fought against the enemies of Israel. So the realm of Jehoshaphat was quiet, for his El gave him rest round about. So God said he's going to bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat to do the same thing he just did right there. Any more questions about that? So ain't nobody got to be scared but the heathens that did what they did to God's people. So to say that there isn't some people that had a land that was living in that land and somebody invaded it and kicked them all over the land in slavery and transported them all over the land, to say that didn't happen, you're just a liar. And to say that those people that happened to are not going to snatch all of your gold chains off your neck and all your Rolexes that you stacked up for me in your safe. Thank you. I can't wait to do this shit, y'all. I can't wait. I'm not playing around. I'm not playing no games. I cannot wait for them days to just traipse around, just grabbing as I like what I want for 3 days. I cannot get enough. I cannot get paid enough. I can just get all these riches in my hands, and then I will go back to my holy land. I will keep on walking and praising Abba Yahweh, 'cause they gonna die when they try to come around me. And when I keep walking and keep singing my songs, they will just keep falling over headlong. I could do this shit all day. You hear me? Because that's what I am. Like I keep trying to tell you guys. Praise him all day. Then your enemies will get gout, monkeypox. They'll get viruses, pestilences, diseases, famines, killing themselves, and all kind of shit. See, because a super soldier can't be controlled, and when he glitch out, he gonna destroy everything like an antivirus does. It kill everything, the good and bad, and that's what it's gonna do. But you're gonna be separated where they can't touch you. So that's what's coming real soon, by the way. Shalom Israel.